All right, good evening and welcome to the Mayor and Town Council meeting. Meeting's being broadcast live on Comcast Channel 23 and live streamed via carrollmediacenter.org/town-Hampstead and on www.facebook.com Carroll Media Center. So we'll rise for the opening prayer and the pledge. And in lieu of the opening prayer tonight, we're doing a moment of silence for two gentlemen who passed this past month. Bob Klingenberg, who many of us know, was the owner of Bob's Variety for 40 years on Main Street, and he passed away. And then Mike Lawson, who is, I guess, unofficially known as the mayor of Greenmount, he passed away as well in the past month. Thank you. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Jim.
Mayor Nevin.
Here.
Councilmember Barrett.
Here.
Councilmember Painter.
Here.
Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
Councilmember Oglesby.
Here.
And Councilmember Zollman.
Here.
All present and accounted for. Minute approvals for April 8th and the special council meeting on the 29th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jim, town manager's report, staff report.
Start with what we always start with, the water system centralization and modernization project. We hope to receive approval from MDE to go to bid for the water treatment plant later this week. That would mean that we could have a bid opening in mid-July and council approval of the contracts possibly in August. Those would be the last bid opening. There's the last one. Along those lines, the grant agreement along with supporting documents have been sent to MDE and the Attorney General for their review and submitted to the Board of Public Works for approval. Up until today, we thought we were going to go to the Board of Public Works on May 21st. I talked to MDE today, and they're going to delay that until June 11th. Reason being, we were under the assumption they were going to go and ask for $4.3 million in financing just to finance the pipeline construction, inspection, and GAC procurement. No, they want to go on June 11th to the Board of Public Works and have the town encumber the entire $18.9 million EPA grant, which would cover then all the construction of the water treatment plants also. Excellent. I think it will still allow us to start the actual construction of the pipelines in early July. The final site plan for the water treatment plants should receive Planning and Zoning Commission approval later this month, and the building permit applications for the water treatment plant construction will be submitted to Carroll County next week.
And take them how long to get through that?
2 or 3 weeks. It shouldn't take long. A couple other discussions I had today regarding the water system and financing. When I was talking to MDE, I asked them about the time frame for the review and notification on the application for additional funding that we put in January. 2 years ago, we received a preliminary notification in May. Mr. Emmert from MDE informed me that they're still waiting on the final number from EPA, what they'll be receiving. So we should get notification in sometime in mid-June, with the final notification in October again. He said all the applications have been reviewed and graded, so we're just waiting to hear. Also had a discussion this afternoon with Napoli Shkolnik, who is our attorney in the class action lawsuit against the manufacturers of PFAS. I've been following it online, our case against 3M and DuPont, and the latest I saw was claim finalized. And it's just been sitting like that for a while. So I asked them, what does that mean? And the person I was talking to said, well, looking on my system, it says that it is sitting now in the payment distribution system. Okay, can you tell me more? So basically, it says that her boss should be aware of what the compensation the town will receive is. So someone should be calling me at least in the next few days and letting us know what number we can expect to receive. So that's good news, finally. On to the Roberts Field stormwater management projects. Some are aware the Robertsfield Stormwater Management Facility, which is known as the pond, will be undergoing a significant restoration project. This will be the first of 4 separate stormwater management projects to be completed in the Robertsfield development over the next several years. There's 2 main reasons for the restoration of the facility. First, the Robertsfield Pond is currently classified as a significant hazard dam by the Maryland Department of the Environment. That means if the embankment were to fail, homes and people would be at risk of being impacted. Due to this classification, the town is required to monitor the dam during extreme weather events, maintain and follow an emergency action plan, and comply with other regulatory requirements. There are fees and possible fines also associated with significant hazard dams. Secondly, the pond receives a high volume of stormwater runoff that does not meet current design standards to protect water quality and prevent degradation of the streams to which it discharges. Downstream waterways have been designated as impaired due to certain pollutants. The town is required by the EPA and MDE to restore the surface waters. The town and Carroll County Bureau of Research Management are discussing holding a town hall meeting open to the public to inform residents about the scope of work and need for this project. Construction is slated to start in the fall, and as we move along, we'll be putting out more information as we get it. It's basically being done, the project's being overseen by Carroll County Bureau of Research Management. So as we receive more information, we'll definitely put it out there for everyone to know, and hopefully we'll have a date soon for a town hall meeting. As far as the finance department, the fiscal year 26 budget has been prepared, and a budget workshop was held with council members on April 29th. The budget is being introduced tonight. Cheryl's been in contact with our financial auditors, and they will be on site Wednesday, May 21st, to begin their preliminary testing of fiscal year 2025 for the period of June 2024 through April 2025. Also in April, the town submitted the final yearly report for the American Rescue Plan Act. The $4.4 million in funds received through this act was very beneficial. It allowed the town to replace many aging water pipelines, and it helped partially fund the PFAS water system project design services. As I think everybody knows, this Saturday is Hampstead Day. It'll be on Main Street from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's approximately 140 vendors at the event, along with a kids zone, live music, dog show, and food and drink sales. Main Street will be closed to traffic from Mott Avenue to Reineman Avenue from around 6:30 a.m. to approximately 4 p.m. Memorial Day, town offices will be closed on Monday, May 27th in observance of Memorial Day. Trash pickup will be delayed by 1 day that week. 2 other quick items I'd like to add. The military banner program, while the deadline's passed to purchase a new banner, we're still accepting if you have an existing banner from previous years. If you want to bring it into town hall by Friday, we still have spots available to hang them on Main Street. So if you'd like to and you have an existing banner, get it to town hall by then. The other thing, the Water Resource Coordination Council, better known as the WRCC. It's an organization comprised of county municipal staff that deals with problems with water management throughout Carroll County. Kevin is the chair of the organization. So May 7th, Hampstead hosted the WRCC. They came to Hampstead to learn about our water system project. Started with Tom and Toby. They did a great presentation outlining the entire project. And then Kevin led the group on a tour of existing and sites of upcoming facilities. It was very well attended. We're guessing around 30 people. I think every municipality in the county was represented, and at least a half dozen or so from the county staff. There were a lot of questions asked, and overall I think people were impressed with how the town has responded to the PFAS issue and how we've almost used it as an opportunity to update the majority of our town's water system. It was a very positive event for the town, and it's a really great job. Kevin, Toby, and Tom did an excellent job.
Good, thank you. Thank you.
And last thing, since tonight signifies the beginning of some new terms for council members, I think it's important that tonight we recognize the two incredible streaks that are going on sitting up at this dais tonight. We have a guy sitting up here in the mayor's seat that's between mayor and a short-term as council person. Has done 30 years of service to the town. And if you glance 2 seats down, there's a gentleman that has put in 32 consecutive years as a town councilman and served the town in a great way. And I want to thank you both and great service to the town.
Hard to believe.
Just yesterday.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. All right. Oversight responsibilities. Diane,
All right.
something's starting soon.
We are all set for opening day for the farmer's market on June 7th from 8:30 to noon with the ribbon cutting at 8:30. As I mentioned during the March meeting, the market is moving from the grass to the paved parking lot by the water tower to improve the market experience for customers with mobility challenges. Wayne prepared a map of the market layout based on all the measurements he took. During last week's advisory team meeting, we determined the placement of the vendors. Many of them will be similarly positioned as they were before. We're adding a welcome tent to facilitate the distribution of any door prize tickets or community information. So that means I will no longer be sitting under my little patio umbrella. We've gotten an upgrade to a nice big tent, so I'd like to thank Keith for that. We also welcome feedback from our customers and vendors, so please stop by the tent and let us know how you like the new layout and any suggestions for improvements. Website administrator Jennifer Hobbs has been busy enhancing the website. It is now updated with this year's vendors and sponsors with links to their Facebook pages, websites, or contact information as applicable. On June 7th, we will be sharing our opening day with the Hampstead Main Street Partnership's first flea market of the season. NESAP is also holding their big sale that day from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's a big day to support Hampstead's local farmers, craft vendors, and community outreach organizations. So we look forward to seeing everyone.
Thanks. Looking forward to it. Wayne?
The Hampstead train station is hoping to be open on Hampstead Day this coming Saturday. Music in this park starts on January 7th with,
January?
June 7th. I even wrote it down. June 7th with Hickory Wind. We've got the poster out on the HampsteadTrainStation.com website, so you check out all the bands that will be playing later this year. Tree Commission, we planted 30 trees on April 12th in Westwood Park with money that came, or a grant that came from the Chesapeake Bay Fund and also from 5 million trees across Maryland. They've been very helpful to us over the years. We're applying for a couple more grants for this fall, and we still have the Hampstead Valley Garden Condominiums. We're planting shrubs over there for them, and also Smart Energy Professionals wants to plant trees up at the park, so we've decided we're going to plant some more cherry trees on the northwest corner of the park.
Some of our shrubs along Main Street up by Greenmount have took a beating this winter, so we have to think about something with your tree commission.
Sure, man.
They're making a remarkable recovery.
I've noticed that. The more rain we get, the better they are, the less salt's in the soil. There's about 5 of them that are not so good, though.
We'll take a look at them. That's it for me.
Okay. Deb?
Okay, the Planning and Zoning Commission met on Wednesday, April the 23rd. First on the agenda was the discussion of the Town of Hampstead PFAS treatment final site plan. Construction plans, as Jim had stated, are waiting on approval from MDE, and the grant agreement is scheduled to go to Board of Public Works on May 21st. The site plan does comply with all codes of the town, county, and the state. Next was the certification of the 2025 spring amendment to the 2023 Carroll County Water and Sewer Master Plan. There were slight changes on certain properties based on their needs due to the treatment plants, and the changes were category changes from future to priority.
Excellent.
All right. Dave?
Last weekend, along with the mayor, I attended the MML Board of Directors retreat in Frederick. We had a very good time, and I'm sure the mayor's going to have some more information on that for us tonight. As far as parks go, Panther Park, the inclusive park expansion at Panther Park has been a great addition to the playground area. We hope that everyone is enjoying these new amenities. Good. And that's why if you haven't stopped by lately, we look forward to seeing you there this summer. We also want to thank again the Public Works team has been very busy this spring cleaning up the parks and the mulch replacements in the park areas. So make plans to stop by one of our parks. We have Chief Sykes Park and the skate park. We have Melvin Miller Park, Odin Kemp Park, Panther Park, Sugar Maple Park, and War Memorial Park. And finally, we have 3 scholarship winners for the MML Carroll chapter scholarship this year.
You're supposed to save them yet? Don't you save them for the actual presentation at the high school?
Just saying he has the win.
Just you have 3.
I have 3. Okay,
All right.
So, and I'll just say one is in Man Valley, one is in Francis Scott Key High, and one is at South Carroll this year. So, very happy for that.
Good. Ben?
Okay, for water, in April, the average water usage was 341,000 gallons per day, and in May so far is 338,000 gallons per day. So we're on track to, it looks like we've found most of the leaks, almost all of them.
You should assume those numbers there are, the system's pretty well tight there.
Yeah, that's great. Rainfall for April was 2.24 inches, and so far for May is 2.79 inches. We had a lot of rain yesterday and this
How much
whole
was
week.
yesterday?
1.36.
2.10, and then anything that comes through tonight before midnight will be added onto that. For the total. That's not in this number, by the way, so we're
Over 40.
5 inches from that.
Nice.
This month will be the first month in a while that we've actually can say we're chewing away at the drought numbers a little bit.
I watched every bit of it fall.
Going into the drought, we're still listed as in a severe drought, although we have been receiving a lot of rainfall. It doesn't translate directly into recovery of the production wells. During the spring and summer months, rainfall is quickly soaked up by trees and vegetation. The drought monitor is scheduled to be updated on May 15th, so tomorrow.
It can rain every day in May except this Saturday and Memorial Day.
The Panther, lastly, I have just a few more. The Panther water tower was washed out and inspected on April 22nd and 23rd, and Public Works started the process of refilling the water tower on the 23rd. Mid-Atlantic installed a new fire hydrant and 12-inch water valve on the 14th, and the water tower was back to normal operations on the 26th. Last, just because we pointed it out last month, the biweekly sweeping has started on April 14th, and so they did it every 2 weeks. So if they've done it 3 weeks so far, they've already got 3.4 tons of stuff out of the streets. Okay, just doing it 3 times, so that's a lot.
Thank you. All right, Chief Snyder.
It's on the top.
Good evening, everyone. During the month of April, in the Traffic Safety Department, we investigated 11 accidents. 3 were reportable, 8 were property damage only, 6 crashes took place at the 42 Circle. Speed signs were placed at 7 locations for 56 days of display. Traffic enforcement, we included 12 selective enforcements over a total of 5-hour period. 15 citations and warnings were issued. Overall, traffic enforcement included 155 citations and 155 warnings. We conducted 693 property checks. With reference to reported crime, 2 incidents of harassment, 1 of MDOP, that's essentially vandalism, 2 thefts under $100, 1 fraud, 1 hit and run, and 1 false report to police. Arrests included a false report to the police that was a juvenile incident, 1 theft, 1 for forgery, and 1 identity theft that Detective Mann handled was over $100,000 loss. Traffic-related arrests included 3 unlicensed drivers, 4 uninsured drivers, 4 suspended drivers, and 1 revoked driver. We conducted 20 hours of training. Topics included neurological disorders, child abuse, surveillance awareness, and all the officers completed their state-required biannual mental health assessment. Community events included the Roberts Field and Brandywine Condos HOA meetings. We participated as part of the faculty team with the Spring Garden Elementary kickball game. That was the students versus the faculty and police officers this time. We also conducted the took along our winner of the Spring Garden Elementary Garden Club. It was a police ride-along experience. We brought our new friend over here to Town Hall as well. Jim got to meet him as well as the staff. It was a good day, it was a good experience, and we obviously participated in the Little League Opening Day Parade on Main Street. And that would be our report.
Questions for Chief? Thanks. So my report, Wayne mentioned Arbor Day. I was there, a little muddy but fun. Good way to start the day. Maryland Municipal League Legislative Committee, which I was the chair this year, we had a wrap-up call talking about all the different legislative initiatives that MML promoted and how well we did or didn't do, plus just a general review of the session in general, which I've talked about at the last two meetings. I attended the Carroll County Women's Republican Club breakfast to honor Sue Krebs for her dedicated years of work for the county, either through Board of Ed or as in the delegates down in Annapolis. Dave mentioned the MML board retreat that we had in Frederick. We got a very nice tour of Frederick. It's been a few years since I've been up there and seen everything, a lot going on. Plus we had our board meeting, which at this time of year, it's always about the budget. So, in their very historic town hall, city hall. Yep, and then if I were a mayor, I did that, I guess it goes back to February, but this year we had two finalists, or two semifinalists, and they're at Hampstead Elementary in the 4th grade class over there. So on Friday, I'm going over there and we're going to recognize the two students for their essays and give them a little, I told them if they did it, that they would get a gift certificate from a local restaurant. So, you know, I'm going to become bearing gifts. So it's always great to see. And there was, I think, 1,400 entries. So to be recognized, I think, and in Carroll County, I forget how many, but it's every 4th grade class. And to be recognized, there were 2 of them here and 2 of them in Mount Airy. So well done to Hampstead Elementary, and I look forward to doing that this Friday. The last thing is, Jim had mentioned, you know, we got Hampstead Day coming up Friday. Look forward to that, hopefully. Saturday, sorry. And look forward to that. And then Memorial Day, where, of course, the American Legion will have their ceremony that they do every year. It's very poignant. It's a very well done Memorial Day service. I am speaking at it as usual, but it's usually 20 minutes. And to start your Memorial Day off for the reason that we're all there, I think it's important that if you can make it, you should be there. 9 o'clock every year. And Chief will, usually we shut down the road for the time period that it happens. So it's, you know, it's a well done ceremony. The War Memorial is full, so I look forward to it every year. So that's my report. There is no unfinished business. We have the election results since we did something yesterday.
Yes. So, the Board of Supervisors of Elections for the town of Hampstead, duly appointed by the mayor and qualified in accordance with the provisions of Section 66-74 of Article 6 of the Code of Public Local Laws of Maryland, title Carroll County, subtitle Hampstead, did on the 13th day of May 2025 hold an election at the Hampstead Town Office, 1034 South Carroll Street, Hampstead, Maryland, for the purpose of the election of 3 persons to act as members of the council for said town for a term of 4 years, beginning on the next regular council meeting after the election. For members of the council of the town of Hampstead for a term of 4 years are Diane Barrett, Wayne H. Thomas, and Benjamin Zollman. Congratulations.
So before I close the meeting signing die, all 3 of them were unopposed. That seems to be the theme of some of our recent elections. I'm going to assume the positive that we must be doing a half-decent job, because if there were 80 people in this room with pitchforks, they're usually not here to congratulate you, or, you know. So, and it's a challenge to do this in this environment. Social media being what it is, second guessing being what it is, some of the decisions that we're making, from the water system to the police department to taxes, the water rates being what they are. And I thank you for your continued service and stepping up to continue to do this. I think, you know, we've got a great team. So we'll close the meeting signing die, which is a formality, and then we'll reopen the meeting. And the first thing I have to do is administer the oaths to our 3 returning council people. We're on. You're all on. Let's go. You know how this works. None of you are rookies. This is the ninth time for you, Wayne. Wow. Second for you.
Yes.
Second for you?
Yes.
Third? Second. Second. All right, Ben. Wayne. And last but not least, Diane. Shorter. So, it's not. Okay, right hands, please. And then we'll just go down the list. So I
Benjamin Zolman.
Wayne H. Thomas.
Diane Barrett.
do swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Do swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of
the
Maryland,
town of Hampstead,
the town of
and
Hampstead,
support the Constitution and laws thereof,
support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office as a member of the Council of the Town of Hampstead,
execute the office as a member of the Council of the town of Hampstead,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
Congratulations and welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, sign away over here. Blue pen, blue pen.
Blue pen.
Take the best signature for me, for you. One for us, one for you. Take a picture of
One for Wayne.
So for those at home or sitting here who don't know why it was just 3 this year, but somewhere along the line, Carroll County decided with our 8 towns that there's municipal elections every 2 years. Everybody's in May. I think the last one left is Manchester next week. But there's 4 towns every 2 years that have mayoral elections plus 2, and then the off-year elections are the other 3 council seats. So we were one of the off-mayoral elections. This year it was Westminster, Sykesville, Mount Airy, and New Windsor.
Thank you.
New Windsor has a new mayor. Kevin Carnick. Congratulations to Kevin. All right, that's out of the way. Who wants to be vice president of the council?
I'll make a nomination that Wayne Thomas.
A second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, Wayne continues on. Assignment of oversight responsibilities to the members of the council. They're not changing.
Same.
Same. So everybody, if you remember the oversights, that's what they're going to continue to do. Introduction of the fiscal year 2026 budget. So, well, you've got it, technically, you've got it down here in the ordinances and resolutions. So, I mean, I'll save my more extensive comments. You all heard them at the workshop. But we'll get to the extensive comments at the public hearing that we have in June about the budget. And we'll go through them when we get to the ordinances and resolutions. Next is the award of a contract for paving of various town roads. And we had 3 bids, and it looks like MT Laney
Yeah,
won handily.
very nice.
They got all the roads, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. 25% lower than
Did
everybody
miss
else.
one or two?
So somebody make a motion to accept
Make a
the,
motion that we accept the MT Laney bid for road paving.
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. And then, Jim, the award of amendment of the GMB engineering contract for additional design services and design services during construction related to our the PFAS treatment improvement project.
Right, so we knew that these amendments were coming. We were made aware of them when we did the initial contracts with HDR and GMB. These are additional design services that pertain more to the actual construction of the pipelines and the facilities. So being aware of this, we went ahead and set aside $1.5 million in the bond for these 2 amendments. So they add up basically to 1.75. So we're a little short that we're gonna have to make up. Actually, 100,000 of the GMB agreement is for additional design services during initial design because we moved the location of the water treatment plant on Upper Beckleysville. So that's left over from the initial design. So basically, these amendments, most of the money's already covered in the bond, and it's for services associated with the construction of the actual facilities.
You need the approval for the adjusted agreement amount or just approval on the,
I think you're making a motion for the amended amount of $807,995.
Correct.
okay.
Should they have one review of submittals in the process? And what if there's a revision? Will we have to make another amendment, or can we just say review at least twice? If there's a submittal and they get something wrong and they have to revise it, will they review it again? Will GMB review it a second time, even though it says they only review it once?
We have a GMB
Yes,
rep.
we have Jason Lytle from GMB Engineering here. Yeah, come on up.
Just
Evening.
Hi. It's on.
It's
It's
on.
on.
Yeah, the reviews that we have in for submittals are for the initial reviews plus resubmittals, so we have a quantity in there to include both.
okay. I must have missed where it says that, but okay, great.
Anything else?
That's all I had.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion for award of amendment to the GMB engineering contract for the additional design services and design service during construction for the $807,995.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
And the amount on the HDR engineering is $956,927.
So that puts us over our budget of 1.5.
Correct.
Yes. We'll either cover that out of pocket or with the award money that we're getting from the manufacturers.
Correct.
Okay. Motion for award of amendment to HDR engineering contract for additional design services and design services during construction.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, and then ordinances and resolution, the introduction of ordinance 556, hopefully you've got that, an ordinance to levy for the levy of taxes for the fiscal year 2026, which will remain at 22 cents. And like I said, I'll get into that more in June, but that's one of the lowest rates in Carroll County for any town, and the business personal property tax rate of 55 cents. Both are unchanged.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion in the introduction? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Then you have the introduction of ordinance 557, which is an ordinance to adopt the annual budget of the town of Hampstead for the period of July 1st, 2025 through next June 30th, 2026. You see it there in its summary form with the general fund and the water fund and the capital improvement plan. And I think it's pretty much in line with what we talked about in the in our meeting, with one exception where we tweak some of the benefits with the insurance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussions of the introduction? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Then we have introduction of resolution 2025-02, which is a resolution regarding the increase in water rates. PFAS program notwithstanding, the cost of water is going through the roof. We've started this program where we increase rates about 8% a year, and that's what we're going to continue to do for the next year, to increase them 8%. I'd rather do it so it's gradual and consistent over time, sort of matching up with the expenses versus some other towns where they were bumping rates 20 and 25% in the last year.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of resolution, the introduction of resolution 2025-02?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. And then last but not least, we're looking at the new rental housing license fees and how much it cost us to actually maintain and follow up and deal with rental housing that may have not been doing what they're supposed to do, and basically tracking it, and a lot of the issues that we have come with rental housing. So we thought it was important to increase the amount of the rental housing license. Jim, you want to?
So basically, we're asking to take the fee for the rental housing license from $75 for a 2-year term to $100 for a 2-year term. Basically just an increase of $25 over 2 years. The other thing that we're looking to do, there's never been anything that stated this was a prorated license. So they expire at the end of August. If you came in August 1st and you were started renting a property then, you would still have to pay $200 or $100 for the month, $75 for the month right now. Then you would have to come back 30 days later and pay for a new license. So what we'd like to do is make it that we can prorate it in 6-month increments. So as the years go by, it would either go from $100 to $75. Once a year's gone, it would drop to $50, and that last 6 months would be $25. And then also just wanted to state out there what the late fees are, and then basically what the fine is if you do not comply with this. So if you're 30 days after the due date, basically it increases the $100 due to $200 due. And then if you're still late, basically it goes into the code and what their code reads, which basically we can issue a municipal citation and a fine of $100 each day. Each day is incurred that they do not comply with the rental housing.
Starting on the 31st day?
61st.
61st, okay.
Yes. We do have issues with some of the landlords coming in and getting their applications in a timely manner. So we're trying to just curb that.
Yeah. The other thing I've asked Jim to do, and Christina Swisher's going to do, is they're going to go through the assessments and property addresses and make sure we have a full and complete list of rental housing in our town. I think we're missing a few properties, so we want to make sure we're up to speed there. And they tell me there's a way to cross-reference things that won't take too long, and it'll be up to speed in a short period of time. So is there a motion to introduce Resolution 2025-03?
So moved.
Second.
Okay then. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. That's it for the business part of it. Public comments. In deference, you guys good with the explanations you got on the pond? Good. I'm glad you came. Thank you. Thank you. All right. No public comments. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Thank you all. Be a full meeting next month with the budget. Yes, we got to do pictures.